Hello and welcome to my channel, Siriana Tarot. This is a daily reading for all signs for July 24th, 2019. It's a reading for the collective, so it may not resonate with everyone, and it may just resonate with one of you. So please take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you like what you hear, please don't hesitate to hit like, share, and subscribe, and definitely leave me a comment. I love to hear how this plays out in your lives. So guys, we are entering into Leo season, so I hope everybody's enjoying the transition. Remember, Leo is all about stepping into the spotlight, your inner strength, optimism, creativity. All right, you guys have it all. Okay, so Spirit, please let us know what we need to know for July 24th, 2019. Please tell us what we need to know for July 4th, 2019. Okay. Okay, first card out, 8 of Wands, beautiful. 4 of Wands in reverse. King of Wands in reverse. And the Star in reverse. Okay. Interesting. Okay, 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Judgment in reverse. Temperance upright. And the Hanged Man in the upright. All right, and your overall energy here is the 3 of Pentacles, so this really might have to do with a work situation, or whatever might be going on might have to deal with some sort of collaborative effort. So the 3 of Pentacles, this is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn energy. This could all about learning your craft, perfecting your craft, studying. It could be school. It could be at work as an apprentice. You could be learning from the best of the best. This is absolutely gorgeous, you guys, because he is actually teaching the old ways in this card. The apple, and I don't know if any of you know this, but the pentagram is found in nature. And when you cut an apple, okay, not the way we're used to it cut like long ways, when you cut it in half, and I don't know if you guys can see that, the way the seeds cut, they form a star exactly like the pentagram. And so, you know, originally we did look to nature for our symbols, and we were so much more connected with nature than before. So I really feel like this could also be all about learning the old ways, all about learning about nature, being in touch with nature. I absolutely love it because he's even got this little squirrel apprentice here who's calm and listening, as well as if, you know, he's been with his master for so long, and these kids are completely in tune and learning everything they possibly can. So I really get that this is either represents you, your situation, or you are one of these children who are just so in tune and learning and expanding all of your knowledge and your information. Underneath that, we have the beautiful Emperor card. I love this deck because he's not represented like this sort of, you know, the Emperor can kind of show up as this uptight energy, you know, the disciplinarian and the rules, and that father, you know, who has the ability to, you know, punish and this sort of thing, and this sort of this rigid figure in some decks. But he's married to the Empress, and he's married to Mother Earth. And in this deck, what I absolutely love about him, he is raw animal nature. I mean, if you just look at him, he, you know, he's got these huge moose antlers. He is, you know, he is a god in his own right. He's in touch with nature. So I'm really getting that with this reading, you guys, like that being in touch with nature and the spiritual forces and all of the rejuvenation that you can get from just taking off your shoes and walking in the dirt or dipping them in a lake, or walking across a river, or getting into the sea. Those types of things are really going to be important right now, especially if you feel like you need to rejuvenate, especially if you're learning the craft, okay? If you're learning about, learning about more spirituality and the older ways. I'm really getting that coming through really strong. The Emperor, this is Aries energy, so it is fire energy. So it could also be, that whatever you're doing and you're moving towards in the Leo month, in the Leo season. But he is so powerful. There's a lot of raw sexual energy attached to this card in particular. And again, he's married to the Empress. It's all about passion, and it's really all about instinct as well. I wasn't going to, but I may actually pull some animal spirit cards, because I feel like that's really important. And when I do pull animal spirit cards, you guys, the thing is, I have loads of animals around me, and I always have. And if you spend time watching animals, whether it's birds, if you have a bird feeder, squirrels, whether it's chickens, whether it's dogs, whether it's cats, whether it's, it's fish, it doesn't matter what it is, you learn that animals are never wrong. They're not muddled like we are. They don't have, they haven't been tainted. They operate on instinct. I'm not saying they don't have feelings, and that do they do things that maybe we don't like sometimes? Yes, of course, but they are such a beautiful guide to the universe, and a lot of times the way we should be acting. So they're just, there are these teachers all around us. Also, butterflies, even little earthworms. You can learn so much if you open up your eyes and you take the time to look at them. So I'm getting that this is a lot about learning and the process of learning, and that it's a collaborative effort. So whether it's finding a teacher, finding someone who knows, okay, or whether you have this teacher, again, the teacher might be right in front of you. It could be the family dog, it could be the birds, it could be the squirrels, it could be a person, okay, again, it could be your yoga instructor, it could be somebody at school, it could be somebody at work. I mean, there's so many possibilities here, you guys. So just give me 1 second to take a look at the cards here. Okay, so here we have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is this Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo energy. These wands know exactly where they want to go. They have a purpose. They're moving fast. They're traveling quickly, and they're going to land at their destiny. And they know what they want to do. They know how to get there, and they're taking the steps to get there. Waite originally called these also the wands of love. So this is all about you having made a decision. It could represent travel, physical travel, or it could just be movement. If it has to do with this learning, you know what you want to learn, you know where you need to go to do it, or you're researching where it is you need to go to do it and how you can move forward on this journey. This is being clarified by the Four of Pentacles, which is more earth energy. It's more Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn energy. And this is all about hoarding. It's all about preparing. Yes, you need to prepare for, leaner times, and you need to make sure that you have something saved if that makes you feel comfortable. Make sure that, you have something saved up for a rainy day. But this man here looks so animalistic and so visceral, and he looks almost taxed. He looks like he's so focused on this that he is no longer friendly, and that he's so scared and so protective of losing what it is that I think he's lost sight of why he's even hoarding or why he's even saving. Because to me, this card is a card about hoarding. This in the reverse, Spirit is saying you might have to pack really lightly to where you're going. Now, this could be emotionally, it could be mentally. You might just have to declutter. You might have to quiet the noise. It might be physical. You might have to clean your room. You might have to clean your office. You might have to clean off your desk. You might have to clean your car. But the importance, where you're going, you're not going to need all of this. And this is the material world. This is your cell phone, your tablet, all your gadgets, the clothes, the nice shoes, all of that. What Spirit is saying is where you're going, none of that will matter. So you need to let go of that. All right. I'm surprised that I'm just getting the image of the Hermit card as well. And it's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you're going to lose all of the stuff that you've worked for. It's just the next level of understanding isn't going to include or put any importance on those material things. Here we have another 4 coming out, so 4s may be very important to you. The 4 of Wands, again, that's more Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius energy. This is my 1111 card. This is all about, it can be about karmic connections and soulmates. It's also about being completely happy and carefree. These people are out in the open. They're not worried about anything. They're not worried about how they're dressed. They're dressed sort of in these robes, but what's important is their union and their love and their understanding. This could represent a contract, okay? It could also represent being comfortable with what you have. And if you look, all they have is each other. In the reverse, Spirit is saying maybe you aren't comfortable or you're not appreciative of all that you have. And maybe all that you have isn't really what's important, or you may be seeing, or you may be learning, or wherever you're going, or this journey that you're going to take, I think is going to teach you that all of that stuff is just bling and pomp and not important. So what you have is really important are the relationships in your life, your relationship with nature, your relationship with learning, your relationship with growing, your relationship in decluttering, taking away the things that no longer serve you, and your relationship with people, your love, and your relationship with Spirit and the universe, which is really beautiful, but it's very deep, you guys. This is a very deep reading. And until you realize what's actually important in your life, and Spirit is really telling me it's not the cars, it's not the clothes, it's not the handbags, it's not trying to keep up with the Joneses, it's not the fancy dinners, it's food that fills your belly and that's nutritious, but it's not maybe deconstructed or, put on a plate with little dribbles, fancy dribbles around it. But really it's what's nourishing and what's the most nourishing for you, if I can use food as an analogy. Until you realize, until you're happy with what you have or where you're going. And again, when I'm talking about what you have, it's not the material world, because that's not important. This is not the lesson that you need to learn. This is the lesson you need to learn. And until you realize that you need to be spiritually rich, you need to be morally rich, you need to be doing the things that serve you. Okay, if you're a light worker, then you need to then working with healing people, making the world a better place, making the world a safer place, making a world a healthier place, however it might be, whatever you might do. And you may not be a light worker, that's fine, but just doing the little steps, just taking the little steps to bettering the place that we live, your environment, your home, making someone feel better, helping an older woman in the grocery store, maybe she can't reach something, or, stopping so a squirrel runs across the street. All of those little actions have such a huge ripple effect in this universe. And Spirit says, and I keep getting, there's a quote that I heard recently, and it was about slavery, and it was about, none of us are free. If there are people that are still enslaved, then none of us can be free. And I can't remember who said that. And this is the message that Spirit is giving us right now. This is a really deep reading, you guys, and I love it, but it's I can feel that this is really, really deep. And until we realize, until we learn those lessons, all of the good that we do, even if it doesn't seem like it's that good, but if we really, and that's also being healthy yourself. It's also taking care of yourself, taking care of your environment, nurturing, taking care of animals, being the best that you can. Until we learn to do that, and until we learn to put less importance on the material things that mean nothing in the grand scheme, then we won't be able to sort of usher in this new world. Okay, and I'm not talking about the apocalypse. I'm not trying to get crazy here, but really, again, I'm going to this quote is coming to me: until everyone is free, no one is free. And so it's the little things we have to do, you guys. And no matter how unimportant they might seem, the little things we have to do to make this world a better place are going to turn these cards around. And we will be able to make it a better place. I know that sounds like a little bit kumbaya and let's sit around the campfire and, roast marshmallows and sing silly songs. But that's the message I'm getting. Okay, the next card that comes out here is the King of Wands, so it's more fire energy. It's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. And the King of Wands, he's a visionary with business. He's an entrepreneur. He's a CEO. He's an amazing leader. He has just this immense strength of will. This is definitely this Leo season. And this is somebody who's very powerful. He's a great leader naturally because he just naturally knows what to do. He hasn't studied for it. He never really prepared for it. All of his actions and everything he did in his life just were so naturally powerful and passionate that allowed him to lead. This is somebody who's traveled a lot. So I'm getting a lot of travel here in your reading. So whether that's traveling to a different level of information and knowledge, learning new things, or whether that's physical travel, or maybe it's just movement and maybe it's exercise and, it's running through the woods and it's that meditating, whatever it might be. I'm getting travel here is very important. And the King of Wands, he's one of the kings that I always say this, and if you've listened to my readings before, he's the king that I always feel preferred to be the knight. He loves the adrenaline, he loves the competition, he loves the thrill of the hunt and the fight, and he's always looking like he's about to hop up off of his throne. In the reverse, it's somebody who's feeling a little bit overwhelmed by his responsibilities and maybe yearning for a time when, he could just get up and go without, having to, let anybody know where he was going or not have to give any notice or, didn't really have any care in the world. So we have to also be really careful. Now, this is somebody who is very self-confident and very passionate, but because this person can be a little bit impulsive, it may not have as much planning and education behind him. When he runs into conflict or opposition, he can lose self-confidence very quickly. This can also be a warning that you cannot be impulsive. You cannot have just these dramatic, visceral reactions here. You're going to have to find your peace, find your inner calm, and in the coming week. Or again, 4 is really important, so it could be within the next 4 days, it could be within the next 4 weeks, it could be within the next 4 months, but Spirit really wants me to tell you this. Now, the Temperance card is coming out. This is Sagittarius, so there's loads of fire in here, you guys. And Temperance is all about this is an angel, so this very well could be that you have your angels around you. It could be really somebody in your life. It could be a parent. It could be a sibling. It could be your best friend. It could be your dog. It could be somebody who's passed on. But that there is a sense of protection here, and this is absolutely beautiful energy. Temperance could also mean, hey, cut down on, the drinking, the partying, the eating, the unhealthy habits. Maybe you need to bring your organism, your body back into balance. Make sure you're hydrating. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's very hot, so make sure that you're hydrating yourself. I'm getting that's very important. This is also this connection between the divine and the material world, and that has really come up here. Again, The Pentacles, the overall energy, this is all about the material world and the world that we live in, and the plants and the animals and the forests and the apples. But again, he's teaching the old ways, okay? And he's teaching magic, and he's teaching that mysticism. So this is very important. This is usually representative of the goddess Iris. And Iris is all about that knowledge and knowing, okay, how to connect, use your intuition to connect, you know, the material world with the divine. And this person, she has 1 foot on the grass and she has 1 foot in the water. And so, but she's balanced and it's barely touching the water, but there's that intuition, there's that knowledge, that just knowing. That's absolutely gorgeous. And there's a sunrise in the back. So this rejuvenation, it's all about bringing yourself back to life, you know, getting enough rest, making sure that you feel good, getting yourself back into balance. All right, what a beautiful reading, you guys. This is a very intense reading too. Now, the card that comes out next is Aquarius, which is air energy, and it's the star, and she's also surrounded by water. And this is, again, rejuvenation. This is when you've been on a long journey, you run across somebody who helps you when you're thirsty. I keep getting that, hydrate yourselves, you guys. In something I was doing earlier was some oracle cards. I got a lot of information about getting to the water, getting to the sea, getting to a river. I'm getting drink water, you guys. And I'm not implying anybody here has an alcohol problem. Maybe some of you don't even drink alcohol, but I'm getting that you really need to temper that, and that you really need to, you need to drink water. You need to be the best you. Hydrate yourselves. And this also will help with the shifts in the moon, because our bodies are made up so much of water. It will really help us deal with these with the lunar cycles also this month. So the star is all about hope. This big star represents our inner knowledge and our intuition. Again, she's also all about that patience. She's all about that rejuvenation. And I'm getting that rejuvenation here is going to be really, really important. Now, in the reverse, it might mean that if you're not heeding the warning here with temperance, making sure temperance also, I have to go back to this, is all about knowing how to behave. And sometimes, and especially since it's clarifying the King of Wands in reverse, which could be impulse, sometimes the best thing to do in a situation is to not do to not do anything at all. Sometimes maybe it might feel a little bit frenzied and a little bit crazy, and this is coming out here with the Hanged Man. When things get a little bit crazy, you need to be able to find your inner peace, and we'll get to that in a minute. So you might have a little bit of an intense flurry, passionate, maybe a little bit frenzied August, or week or tomorrow. And you're going to really have to be able to find your calm and find your patience and know how to act. You know how to act. You just can't give in to impulse and to anger. Okay, because remember that Leo and this fire energy can be really aggressive, and you might have that in your chart, or you may be dealing with somebody who's a real hothead, or who's aggressive, or who flies off the handle really easily, and you know the best way to deal with this. And sometimes it's not to, most of the time I would say, it's to not engage. All right, so that's another message that's coming out. But don't lose hope, and make sure that you're stable. Make sure that you accept help from people as well. Remember, this is a guardian angel here. So make sure that you're accepting the star's help and the hope, and don't give up hope. I'm going to just repeat myself here, because the Hanged Man, this is all about taking a pause. Maybe you need a pause in action. Maybe no action is the best action here. Maybe you need to take a break from whatever you've been engaging in. Okay, I get you've been hoarding, you've been holding on to a lot, and it's caused a few blocks, and we see this in the beginning of the reading. So maybe it's time to take a pause. Maybe it's time to focus on yourself. Maybe it's time to heal yourself. Maybe it's time to hydrate. Maybe it's time to take a rest. And this is all about, no matter what's going on in your surroundings, and it's not so passive, because getting onto the tree of life, and in this card, he's got a lot of get up on, he's in a straight jacket, it looks like, but he's got you know, it's not a passive action. You're setting your own boundaries. You're saying no to the things that don't work for you, either temporarily or permanently. And that takes a lot of power, you guys. That takes a lot of power to do that. Okay, so I'm going to leave those cards there for a moment, and I'm going to pull some fairy cards and just see what else Spirit has to say to us here. Okay, this is a really deep reading, you guys. It's it may just be for a few of you. It may just be for one of you. Okay, first card out, 8 of Winter. Here we go. We've got the 8s and the 4s here that are very important in this reading. So this is the 8 of Swords. So you have what it takes if you only believe in yourself. Thinking that you're powerless when you're not. A lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. All right, we see that showing up with the King of Wands. Not behaving the way you know how to behave, and the best way to behave in this situation, you guys, is going to be really key. 8 of Autumn. 8s are very important. 8s and 4s, you guys. This is beautiful. Excuse me, this is the 8 of Pentacles. Do more research before proceeding. Education in the form of seminars, going back to school or apprenticeships, excellent craftsmanship and long-term projects. Did we not see that here with the 3 of Pentacles? Again, this could also, if it's not a spiritual journey, it may have to do with your work or your studies. There's definitely a lot of education going on here. The Empress, very good. I love it that she showed up now. All right, time to take action, the power of creativity, success that allows for a life of luxury. Now, remember we saw the Emperor show up here. Now, they're quite different in these decks. You couldn't imagine this very beautiful sort of Victorian fairy being married to this man, but I love it that they're showing up together in this reading. Okay, the Empress is all about that passion, and she's all about abundance. She's creative. Okay, she's got some twins. She's got 2 peas in a pod. I don't know if you see that, but that's really adorable. Okay, she's got 2 peas in a pod there. All right, and she's just handling everything. She doesn't have, you know, she's not worried about anything, and she's very in touch with her surroundings. She's very in touch with nature as well. She is Mother Nature. All right, and the Lovers. Okay, true love that is long-lasting, choices made from the heart, a return to good health. Was I not talking about that? Temperance, you guys, return to good health. If this isn't, I'm not getting that this is a huge love situation. I'm not getting that this is a love reading. But somebody here, you really need to, again, you need to hydrate. You need to be, you know, temperance. It doesn't have to be necessarily just drink and alcohol. But, you know, it's all, it could be eating, it could be food. But you need to get your, you know, you need to get back, you need to get your health back. That's going to be really important. All right, oof, popping out. Blossoming abundance, guys, the 3, right on top of the Empress. There's not much more to say than that. This is going to be very abundant. You're going to have to, if you can get your health in order, you can get back on your exercise routine, you can get back into eating properly, you know, pay attention to your studies, make sure you know, you're doing everything that you need to do. Doesn't mean you don't have fun, but there's so much abundance here, you guys. This is great. This is really great. Envy. All right, you may be dealing with envy, all right, or people are going to be envious of you. They're going to see the results of your hard work, and people may be envious, or I'm getting also, because this is kind of popping up here on top of the 4 of Pentacles and the hoarding, that it may be something you have to deal with. Now, I want to say something about envy. Whenever I've felt myself feel jealous about someone or someone's circumstance, it's always a time for reflection. And I think, why do I feel jealous, or why do I feel envious about someone, or someone taking a trip, or someone's, you know, somebody's physical features, or, you know, somebody's relationship? And it really reflects back on us. Why? What's lacking in your life? Now, if you feel envy because somebody's taking some amazing vacation, you know, where you've always wanted to go, then maybe you need to work towards taking that vacation so you don't feel envious about anybody. Maybe if you're looking at people's, you know, physical fitness and you're thinking, wow, I wish I could run that far, or I wish I had a flat stomach, or oh, I wish I were, you know, 10 pounds lighter or whatever. Well, then maybe you need to work towards that so you don't feel that envy anymore. Or maybe, oh, somebody just bought a house, or somebody has a family, I don't have that. Now, those can be a little bit more complicated as far as having a family, but I think you need, when we feel envy, it's a really good time to take a step back and reflect and see what do you need to fix in your life so you no longer feel that. Okay? All right. I just sort of lost my place, you guys. All right, so I tried to ignore this card. I'm not sure why. 3 times. 41, the 7th chakra, Archangel Uriel. Okay, you need to, again, this could be about your spiritual journey, opening up your, you know, your pathway to intuition, to spirit. You may need to meditate. Again, you might be, what I was saying, you might be feeling envy in your life. Although things seem to be going really well for you, you might be feeling a bit of envy in your life. And it might be a time to meditate, take a step back, get back in touch with spirit. And then you know how to act. You know how you need to proceed. And don't ignore other people's help. I'm getting that. Don't ignore the help that people are offering you. Even if you're a very independent, stubborn, you know, fire sign. And I'm getting 18 coming out, anxiety. All right, so I'm getting that, you know, you may have a lot of anxiety about this situation. Okay, something going on. You may be feeling anxious. You may be feeling like you're behind or you're not keeping up with the Joneses. But you know what? That's okay. That's okay, because that's what Spirit is here for. These are lessons we need to learn. And sometimes they're tough lessons. All right. Valiant courage. Take action with passion. Shout to the heavens with happiness, embracing enthusiasm. Yes. Open up that chakra, you guys, and be happy. Strive for your happiness. Go towards your happiness. Fellow travelers, support is all around you. Did I not just say that, you guys? I love this. I love it when it comes together like that. Again, the star. Don't forget you are not alone on this path, in this journey. So when people reach out to you, accept their support. Okay, it doesn't make you weak. It does not make you weak if you accept support. And it's saying, Spirit is saying, you have support all around you. This is a really beautiful reading, you guys. All right, staying focused, hold the course. All right, so don't get distracted as I just get distracted. What was I saying? Yeah, don't get distracted. Stay focused. Keep your eye on the prize. Okay, make sure that you're not just going through the motions. Make sure you know why you're doing things. Make sure that when you're feeling this envy and if you feel this anxiety, then you take a look back. You look at your life. We have free will. We can change anything about our lives. You just have to believe it. And so speak your intentions out loud. Start writing it down. Start taking the actions so you can dissolve envy and you can dissolve anxiety. I guarantee if you look into, sometimes it's easy to say, it's somebody else's fault or it's just the situation. And that's not always true. We have a lot of power, you guys. And I believe in you. I believe in me. And I think that's the message that Spirit really wants us to hear today. And we need to clear those blocks so we can be newer and better people and make this world a better place. So thank you for listening. If you like this what you heard today, please hit like, share, and subscribe. And please don't forget to leave me a comment. I love to hear how this resonates in your life. And please have a beautiful day. Thank you.